Okay, hello everyone. So we've gone through the door and we're back into the courtyard here. And it's very dark. And there's all these doors we can check, but I'm pretty sure what we have to do is go find that heart. So we're gonna try and go over to the pool and run down the stairs on the other side. Okay. Because if memory serves me correctly, what did we just get? I know it's the something heart. Jeweled heart, that's what it is. A gold heart inlaid with jewels, so I was right. Okay. So we've got that. Now we need to... Let me think. I kind of remember all of these, like pretty much every door being locked here, but I might be remembering wrong. So we should just check everything to be safe. But I'm pretty sure it will go quickly, because I'm fairly positive almost every one of these doors is jammed or broken. Oh, I guess not. It's a running noise in the bathroom. Looks like there's a bloody shower here. And nothing else. Astounding. There's a hammer on the bed, at least. Okay. So... looks like we should just head left and go that way. Or maybe clockwise is a better description since we're going all the way around. There's a big gate over here, so I guess all of this is blocked off. But let's check all these rooms. It's just these next two, and then the one past the door that we have been in. Yep, broken. This is a kind of well-lit corner, but it's got nothing in it, I guess. And that door's broken. So, we'll go see if there's a staircase, but in the other world area, there was none. Oh, there is. I guess we should check the second floor here. There's some sort of monster. Oh no. Can't even stomp on him. This looks like something. There's a narrow slit cut into the door. So it looks like we're gonna have to come back here. This is the Nero room. Broken. Oh, this one opens. But it's not that exciting, unfortunately. Yep, looks like there's nothing in here. Oh well. So, just a few more doors here. Broken. Looks like there's something back here. Being stalked by that string. Oh, this is a cool camera angle. You'd figure it means there's something over here, but of course it doesn't. Because this isn't a great Silent Hill game. Can we squeeze through here? Nope, no way. And over here. Broken door. This one opens. Okay. But I'm going to guess there's not going to be anything of too much note in here. Yep. Literally nothing. I would actually prefer that they just keep all these doors broken or locked instead of having random rooms actually open and let you in. I think it's just kind of silly. But, oh well. There is no more laundromat door over here. Checked all those doors. So we'll just have to try these last few doors right here. I believe this is the diner. That's pretty creepy, whatever that is. This is a sword. An ornamental dagger. That's interesting. Homecoming has an ornamental dagger as well. It doesn't look the same, but if I'm gonna guess the door with the narrow slit is where we need to put this dagger, then Homecoming you have to do that quite a few times. Just use a dagger you find to as a key to open multiple doors. Homecoming, even in the stuff that isn't very good, is just not creative at all. What a shitty game. So let's use the dagger on this door and see if that works. Excellent. Cool beans, dude. So now we're in here. Is there an item over here? Yes, shotgun ammo. Cool. There's something right here. Cause of death, stabbing. So you notice there's a theme of finding photos around that say cause of death, and they have some sort of murderous killing on them. And the reason why they're at this motel is explained in the bad ending. But we'll get into that. So this is a giant hole here, so I'm going to take a guess that we need to jump through there. Well, let's try this. Oh, there's no door over here. This looks like a door. I guess not. There's a ragged hole here that drops down into the room below. Jump down? Yes. So we should be in the King's Suite. We are. Which means... what it means, I'm not really sure. Oh, except there's a giant hole in the wall here. Oh, and a medkit. And the whole floor of this room is collapsed. So we're gonna have to head through the hole. And I'm going to say that this will take us... Now we're in the back maintenance hallways again, which is... this is the Otherworld version of the hallway that had a bunch of peepholes. So let's check the far end here. It looks like there's another cause of death, broken heart. Let's take a look at that again. That's pretty interesting, actually. Oh, it didn't even load the photo before, but it's cause of death, broken heart, and it's Richard. It's Travis's dad. And for some reason, there's a trash can also prominently in the photo with him. So Travis's dad, we can infer from that, is dead from a broken heart. What that means, though, we will find out soon enough. Go through this door? No. So we're kind of just making we're going a little bit haywire here. To a ghost. There's no pretending now, is there? We both know that thing at Cedar Grove isn't you. You died the day you tried to kill our son. When I brought you, when I brought your gift today, when you smashed it, I finally woke up. I've been dreaming all these years, kidding myself that you'll be right one day. The Helen I loved is dead. I try to remember how it was all those years ago today when we got married. I can't remember anymore. I'm tired. I know Travis will be fine on his own. I'm going to see you again, Helen. Yours in forever. I thought it would say yours forever. Richard. Richard, aka Dick Grady. So, I'm going to take a wild guess that cause of death, broken heart, and the note there perhaps implies... Sorry, I thought maybe we could go in there now, but I guess not. Maybe that implies... Let's avoid room 502 like the plague. and make sure we don't go in there, or else we'll get a bad ending. Well, a UFO ending. I'm going to guess that that was a suicide note, and cause of death, broken heart. It would only make sense that Richard had killed himself. Of course, I actually don't remember, so I'm just speculating here. This is a note I picked up earlier about Sam Hale, but I didn't bother to pick it up because I died, and I just ran by it. So now we can, what I'm guessing we have to do, because it's marked on our map, is the vice inside of the maintenance room. And I'm guessing that if we use an item on that, something will work. I don't think we still have the dagger, but we did get a jeweled heart. And the fact it's jeweled, and jewels are very tough and hard metals, I can hear something rattling around inside, so yeah, that definitely means we have to use the vice on it. So let's crack this heart open, if I can walk correctly. I smash open the jeweled heart. There's something inside. It looks like a little ring. It is the wedding ring. I think the ring has something engraved on the inside. There's something engraved. Let's take a look. It has a message engraved that reads, "To my June bride, love forever, Richard." June bride. So, I actually do remember this puzzle because it's something I got stuck on for a month when I first played, and I struggled with it, and I struggled with it until I just looked it up, and then it seemed pretty obvious. But there's a Silent Hill tradition that I will explain as we walk towards our destination, which is the tradition of... oh, the gate's covered. There's a tradition in Silent Hill of you start off the game with something in your inventory. Although I don't think that's in Silent Hill 1, it is in Silent Hill 2, and it's in Silent Hill 3. And these items seem meaningless, but they actually impact the story a lot. And in Silent Hill 3's case, you will take the item you have at the beginning of the game and use it at the very end of the game in order to complete the game. In Silent Hill 3, that is the Aglafotis, or the pendant, technically, that has Aglafotis inside of it. In this game, you may remember, I skirted by it a few times trying to figure out how to use it, but I do now remember it is the lucky quarter that Travis started off with. So we remember way back when we first got here. Let's save our game. There's a rotary calendar over here, and it needed a date. And because we didn't know any date, because there's a hint with the note that says check-in date, and we thought it might be that, but actually what it is a combination of several items and several pieces of information we have now. The first being, the most obvious one would be the calendar we saw inside of the room, where we saw Richard's ghost. We saw the calendar that had 12 circled on the it had the day 12, but we couldn't see a month or a year. And so now we can look at the wedding ring and say it says June, so June 12th. And this is the hardest one. This is what kept me from ever figuring it out when I was younger, which is the lucky quarter. If we take a look, it has something scratched into it. Looks like 61. So 1961. This game does take place in the 70s. So June 12th. June is a 6 month. We want 12. June 12th. And it should be 1961. Oops, I went past it. That will open up the little secret compartment. There's an empty circular depression. And that's pretty easy. It is the wedding ring. Something dropped down on the keyboard behind me, and you'll notice a nice soothing music track picks up. So something dropped here. It is the room 500 key with a blood stain on it. Room 500 is, of course, Richard's room. Let's take a look at where we need to go. We'll just head back this way. So room 500 is the room that Richard Ghost was in earlier, and we need to head that direction. It's the room that's crossed off with police tape. And a very somber and sad music track is playing. All compliments to Akira Yamaoka. This is not the best Silent Hill game. It's not a bad game. I mean, there's a lot worse as far as horror games go. But the soundtrack is still done by Yamaoka, and it really shows. There's actually an interesting thing about the soundtrack, is if you listen to it, if you listen to the full thing, it has much more of a hip-hop, almost drum and bass sort of vibe in certain tracks. Now you of course have your sad, somber piano music like we hear now, but you also have a lot of tracks that are just really, like, someone could dance to them. They're really cool. But I don't even know if we've heard many of those, honestly. I can't use the key here, the door's wrapped up tight. So I'm guessing that means we can use the mirror here in room 501. And then when we go to the other world, we'll be able to use the key. If we're lucky. I might have missed something. But I'm fairly positive. Traverse this empty bed frame. If I can figure out my way around the environment. It's harder than it looks.
Daddy?
So I just want to note really quickly, we read a note much earlier. We'll see if we can crack it out here. Must be the till receipt. No, it's the one after that. No. Duty log? Yeah, it's this one. It's this note that says something's wrong with room 500. The kid was in there for hours crying at what he saw, but we never found out what he saw. And now that we know this is Richard's room and we just saw a flashback of Travis going in here, we can guess what's going to happen. This is a save symbol. Okay, so we save the game, and we get a Silent Hill 2's Silent Hill Historical Museum type long staircase down. Unfortunately, it's not going to take us over a minute of straight sprinting to get down here. It'll just take about 10 or 15 seconds.
Daddy, I won the game. I still got a quarter left. You want the quarter? Daddy, wake up. Please, Daddy.
I'm not sleeping, son.
Daddy.
You knew I wasn't sleeping. Why did you stand there for so long? It wasn't right.
Please, Daddy.
It wasn't healthy, son.
Daddy, this is insane.
Time you faced up to what happened. Your mother and I will see you in heaven, son.
Okay, so now we get our next boss fight. This boss fight, I'm sure you can tell already, the symbolism there was pretty obvious. Its main attack is to use tentacles from the ceiling, and what it did was grab us around the neck and choke us. Of course, referring to the way in which, sorry, I'm focusing here, the way in which Travis's dad was killed, which is he hung himself. And this boss is actually named, he has a pretty neat name. His name is Sad Daddy, which it's kind of a sad name, especially when you know what it means. There are corpses on the left and right. One is an upside down, messed up torso, and the other is a torn up bottom side. And each one represents different things. One is oh my goodness, please let me go, Sad Daddy. One is Travis's mom, and one is Travis's dad. Not that exciting, really. That was pretty quick. So now we get the final piece, the truth piece of the Flauros.
How is this even possible? Dad, how could he do that to himself? Why won't you let me forget? Why are you doing this to me? Come out! Come out! I've got your thing for you. Happy? You've dug up my parents. What now? When do we get to look inside your sick little mind? This isn't right.
So we get a nice little, I like that, why don't we look inside your sick little mind, when really most of the game we've been there in a lot of ways. Anyway, we'll equip Barry's Magnum, and let's use some health drinks here. And where we are now, I'm really not sure. This could be the famous Nowhere section of the game. Well, famous to the Silent Hill franchise. When you get near the end, there's a Nowhere section. And we don't have a map for this area. There's a nice somber piano music. Well, it's not really somber, it's actually a little bit upbeat. Yeah, a little bit. But this looks to be, I'm really not sure, some sort of storage facility. I couldn't say for sure. An ampoule, and looks like more assault rifle ammo. And yeah, maybe this is the basement of the hospital. I don't know. Anyways, there's a big halo of the sun on the ground, and the present piece.
This is the last one.
So this is the last piece, as Travis said. We need to figure out how exactly to do this. Let's take this.
Certamente passerà qui su di me, sicuramente non mi rimarrà quasi niente. Tornerò alla verità, ma latente la tua voce suonerà.
here? Wait!
So we finished the Flower Rose, and something happened. We have to chase Alessa through whatever this place is. Still no map, so I guess this is not a drawing in the map sort of area. Some notes here, nothing to see though. Broken door. Oh, here we go. A staircase. Oh, so that was the hospital basement. I was just guessing. It was laid out a bit differently than in Silent Hill 1. So we're here. You know what I noticed is we actually haven't seen Kaufman since this hallway when we saw him with the elevator. I said we'd find out who he was soon enough, and we haven't seen him since. So, call back to the beginning, I guess. That was Dr. Kaufman. So let's save our game. I'm guessing this is not exactly the real Silent Hill Alchemilla Hospital, but it is in fact part of the Otherworld / Nowhere. And maybe we can confirm that by looking at our save, because they have different locations. Oh, hospital basement, never mind. This isn't part of the basement though. It's an exit here.
What have you done? You broke the spell. Now, she is free.
I just want to end this. I thought that's what she wanted too. I want out. Can you help me?
You want out? Ha ha! Far too late for that. Even with your misguided help, she can't stop us now. The ceremony begins soon. Finally, she will birth God! Here she comes. Look upon what you have wrought!
Sorry, I guess my mic, I forgot to hit the button and turn my mic on. So now we are at, somewhere. We're in Hell Silent Hill, or Otherworld Silent Hill. We let Alessa free, and it's not going too well, it doesn't seem like. So we got, the child's map of Silent Hill. We've got, Crichton Street, of course she writes Crichton Street, Kuntz, Sagan, and actually now that I think of it, these are, I don't know if this is the same map as earlier. I guess maybe it is. I mean, same street names. Oh, there's a giant Kyrion here. We'll dodge him. So this part reminds me a lot of the Silent Hill 1 section, in which you go to the mall and everything, and after the antique shop, and you end up wandering around for quite a while. It's 2 back right there. And if we take a look at the map, it says go here. So we're going to go there. If we can traverse the 2 back. Can't go this way. We go around here. Looks like it. Oh. Let's see if we can get past him. There's some good stuff here. I'm gonna try and run away. I think I might be caught in a bad situation. Let's just be safe and use a health drink. Okay. Yeah, this looks like a dead end. Or is it? It definitely is. Unfortunately, it's not marked on our map that way. So we're just gonna have to remember not to go this way. Alright. Let's take a look. Let's see if we can head up Simon Street. Looks like this whole place is just torn up. Oh, hey buddy. There's a lot of them. Again, the Caliban and the giant carry-ons, the sense of scale, especially when you're wandering in the dark, you just kind of brush up against the edge of one. Actually, very well done. Very scary. I like that a lot. Anyways, let's keep moving. Used an energy drink. And we don't want to get lost, so we have to keep checking our map. Another Caliban here. And here, we can't go straight. So we will have to try right or left. We'll go right first. Now I know there is a final boss, so I'm saving my really good Redeemer ammo for him. That was a pretty slick dodge. That 2-back didn't really seem interested in me, I guess. Okay, we got past the little roadblock. Go on this little bridge. I think we're almost there. Ooh, see, that looks really good. That's really, just really well done. I'm really surprised to know that that kind of thing has been in Silent Hill before. Like the large-scale enemy. I mean, I guess some of them are bigger than you, like the Twin Victim and Abstract Daddy, but not of this scale. Alright, we're almost there. In fact, if memory serves me correctly, if I recall correctly, from the original Silent Hill, I believe this is actually the location of the antique shop, the Green Lion Antique Shop. So... Oh, hey buddy. Oh, I hit the wrong button. He stabbed me pretty good, I guess. Excuse me. It's a health drink here, thankfully. I think we're fine on supplies, though. Especially because we're almost at the end. So yeah, we're about here. Oh, Green Lion. It's the exact same layout. Yeah, it was just a guess, because I didn't remember this from my first time playing the game, being that I hadn't played Silent Hill 1 yet. This is a cool camera angle and hallway, with the lighting and everything. And this is the identical camera angle, the identical everything, except upgraded, of course, as in Silent Hill 1. And I think this is actually the first area besides Alchemilla Hospital that does that. Although even Alchemilla has a little bit of a change in its layout. Flauros device, origin unknown. The device is first mentioned in the poetry of Chang Qian, an advisor to members of the early Han Dynasty. In one of his tracks, Chang Qian jokes he trapped a demon inside his three-sided box. When Chang Qian died in a terrible fire at the Imperial Palace in 115 BC, the device appeared lost. It was later rumored to be in possession of Lutheran monk M.G. Lewis, who in 1796 spoke of its ability to control and amplify thought. It was Lewis who linked it not to a demon, but to God himself, claiming it was a weapon left by angels as a force for good. And because M.G. Lewis said that, we can guess that he was perhaps one of the founders, or at least early members of Silent Hill's cult. since they seem to have a warped view of what is good. And I'm guessing that oriental picture up there is Cheng Chen. It's a cute little dog. And what do you know, there's a hole, just like in Silent Hill 1. Thought there was going to be a cutscene, but we can actually control this section where we crawl through.
But you're so supreme. I give my life not for honor, but for you.
I've got a text message from my brother. My friend says, "You know the story of Big Daddy because you lived it." And my brother says, "I fuck." Incredible. Sorry.
I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial.
Sorry. And here's the shrine. Layout is a bit different. I think usually there's a wall here, and the hole is maybe over here, and then there's the chalice and everything is right here. This is an invocation of the 9 red squares you see at the end of Silent Hill 2, your final save point, in which it's telling you this is the end. This is of course, a nice triangle built out of flowers, or, red triangles, to tell us we are at the end. And there's a little shrine here. Looks like some kind of altar. It's the one we see in Silent Hill 1. This area, though, must be an invention of the other world, and not in Silent Hill 1.
She's really worked you over, hasn't she? I'm surprised to see you. We had assumed you'd just leave. Well, time to put her pawn to sleep. Good night.
She's here. We need to begin this now.
Don't worry, Dahlia. With him out of the way, she has no conduit for her power.
Mama? Mama? What is it?
Don't touch.
Ow, it's hot!
Leave it be. It is a cage for a demon. Contained, his power will focus yours. Release him, and we will all burn in the fires of hell.
So now we're fighting the final boss, who is this thing, which looks quite a bit like the Incubus demon in Silent Hill 1, which is the final boss of Silent Hill 1. Although the Incubus demon in Silent Hill 1 was based on Baphomet, at least the design was based on the famous portrait of Baphomet, which you see here. Also, fun fact about the movie The Shining, it's thought to be that the pose Jack Nicholson is doing, I'll show you here, in the ending, is that of Baphomet. Anyways, that's just a tangent, but so it's a bit different. It is a demon, but its physical design is different. It's more of a generic demon. It's actually called Alessa's Dream, is the name of this boss. it's what Alessa's dreaming of, and since we're asleep also, and she's psychic and controlling things, we're somehow in her dream. While the cult, as you saw them, Kaufman and Dahlia and all the members were all gathered around. And I have to say that this game does the cult members a lot better than Downpour or Homecoming does, in which the cult members are men in coal mining suits and wearing rubber gloves and carrying guns. My my absolute favorite thing in all of Silent Hill Homecoming is, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a point in Silent Hill Homecoming where you get to fight a cult member, and he's wielding a pipe, and one of his generic enemy lines is, he goes, "I'll cut you." So he's swinging a pipe at you, and he keeps going, "I'll cut you." It's the least scary thing you could ever imagine. It's a Silent Hill game. Homecoming is dog shit. Anyways, Alessa's dream takes quite a bit of damage, as you can tell.
I don't believe it. Harry, it's a baby.
It's a girl. Go on. Hold her.
Cheryl. We'll call her Cheryl.
Half the soul is lost. The seed lies dormant.
The other half is not lost. We'll use a summoning spell. Hearing her pain, it is sure to come.
It will take time.
We can wait.
So that is Silent Hill Origins. We can skip the credits because there's nothing to see. And so it shows us a different ending background here. And just to explain a bit, I'm just looking at the statistics here. Cool. No, I don't want to do this. So just to explain a little bit, there at the end we defeated the demon, all the cult members got pushed away, and Alyssa... Sorry, I'm shifting around my chair. Alyssa had a baby of sorts in her body, and then she was holding it when he saw her in the rear view mirror, sorry. And from the ending audio, we can infer that was Harry and Jodie. Harry and Jodie, of course. Jodie having passed away before Silent Hill 1 takes place, but Harry being the main character of Silent Hill 1. The background is that he has a daughter who they found on the side of the road named Cheryl, and she loses them in Silent Hill. Or he loses her in Silent Hill after a car crash. And, of course, the implication is half her soul is lost because there's Cheryl and there's Alyssa, so that Alyssa lost her soul. So she ended up spending the next few years in the hospital recuperating, being very weak, as we see in Silent Hill 1, and that Cheryl would eventually end up going back, and there seems to be a funny cycle because, spoiler alert for Silent Hill 1 and 3, in this game, Alyssa has the baby, and, gives it to Harry and Jodie. She leaves it on the side of the road somewhere that they happen to go by, and in Silent Hill 1, when you defeat Alyssa, basically liberate her, she lets you have another baby, which is sort of a mixture of the spirit of her and Cheryl together, and that baby becomes Heather in Silent Hill 3. So a pretty interesting ending. I actually really like the bad ending too, which I'm not going to show you because it's pretty long, just for a single point, which is to cover the Butcher is actually meant to be like how Pyramid Head is the duality of James. The Butcher is the duality of Travis. It represents his more angry and violent side that he got from his bad childhood, the bitterness he feels towards the world because of it. And there's something about that is that the Butcher is very precise in his cutting of things. He's not like the shaky slamming sword into things Pyramid Head. He's very precise. He is a butcher after all. He's not really a monster. It's just his purpose to kill these things. And that's sort of hinted at in the ending in the bad ending, which is that you find out that Travis the whole time is in a sanitarium, or at least he ends up there because he was a serial killer. And so all the butcher victims that we kept finding slaughtered and everything in the Greenfield apartment buildings and in the butcher shop, of course, and in the alleyway, and then all the cause of death photos inside of the motel, it's implied that Travis was a serial killer, killing all these women. He would stay at motels and kill women, and so on. It's an interesting take on things. I mean, the serial killing trucker is, it's a understandable, feasible trope, and I quite like it. Both endings are really good. We first got to see the UFO ending by accident, which is pretty funny. I like the the alien asking Travis if he can drive stick, and then they go off. And there's not much else to say about Silent Hill Origins. That's about it. Just a quick note we saw in the end cutscene. It's that Travis is driving for a company called Ambrose Shipping and Trucking. And Ambrose is a term that means essentially eternal, or a weight you always carry around. And Ambrose is, of course, he's carrying around, trucking the weight of his past, because it's all behind him in the truck. He's carrying around his mother's insanity and attempting murder on him, and his dad's suicide. So anyways, that's about all there is to say for Silent Hill Origins. I'm sad to say this is the last decent, pretty good Silent Hill game that I'll be able to cover on this channel, because I've already done 1 through 4. I did Origins. Now we just have Downpour and Homecoming. You know what? I spoke too soon, because when I think about it, the designer slash writer of this game, at least the guy who tried to fix it and make it to this pretty good state from the mess that it was, Sam Barlow, headed up the reimagining of Silent Hill 1, which is Silent Hill Shattered Memories, which I do plan to play at some point. It's only on the Wii and another console. I can't remember which, PSP or PS2, something like that. So I'll have to emulate that as well, and we'll play it. Actually, a really good game. I've played it once before, and I've seen it played through a few times. It's different. It's a reimagining of Silent Hill 1, and it takes elements from 3, takes a lot of elements from 2, of course, the psychological aspects, and it's a really, really good game. A lot of people are upset by it for a few reasons. It doesn't have traditional Silent Hill combat. It doesn't have... Even the exploration in the game is a bit linear, but it's all for a very driven narrative, and I prefer the more linear, good narrative than the very linear, very bad narrative of Homecoming. Not to say that the other games aren't linear, but there's a certain gameplay loop of you enter an area and then you have that whole mini sandbox of sorts to explore and figure out what to do, unlock new areas by solving puzzles and so on. And Shattered Memories has that to some extent, but not as far as the other games, even this one. So there's one more good Silent Hill game that we're going to play, but because we've played all the more canon Silent Hill games, or, you know, the not spin-off slash reboot remakes, all we have to do now is Downpour, which is unrelated to the rest of the games for all intents and purposes. So the only one really left in the main important cult of Silent Hill canon is going to be Silent Hill Homecoming, which, as I've mentioned numerous times, is just terrible. Makes me very angry, and I can't wait to play it for the channel because it's going to be a very fun, very funny playthrough. I'm gonna study all my information, and we're gonna be ready, because there's quite a few things, not just about how bad the game is, but just about the development of the game that Tom Hewlett was advocating for and trying to get put in the game. The amount of things that were just done so badly is astounding, and the amount of things that could have been done worse, well, were going to be done worse until someone stepped in and said, no, maybe we shouldn't be retarded, to Tom Hewlett, is astounding. So anyways, that is it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day or night, wherever you are. Goodbye.